allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of solemn prayer for our town, our community, and our country. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, it is 5:30 in the evening. We are in the Bath Municipal Center. Can I have the roll call, please?
Sure can. Scott Murphy,
Present.
Rick Weber,
Present.
Greg Thorney.
Here.
Bruce Jackson. Here. Elizabeth Skinner. Here. Chris Chapman.
Here.
And Susan Webster's here. Full house.
Okay, we have a full house. We don't let's have a review of our minutes from our council meeting on Tuesday, February 21st. I'll take any corrections or in it, and I would appreciate having a common consent if everything looks good. Looked good when I looked at everything, though.
Yeah.
Everybody okay? Common consent? Yep.
Yeah, I do appreciate your all's help when we get back to you with things when you see things. It's very helpful.
All right, so we don't have any persons before council as of right now. So we're gonna move on to communications and mayor. We do have Make It Shine, April the 1st through the 15th. Deadline to sign up is 3/10/23, right, Beth?
I already sent it.
Okay, good deal. Well, I just wanna make
Right,
sure
no,
that,
going on the
that,
ball.
you know, okay, and then also,
Question, Scott, what is Make It Shine? I
Uh,
haven't seen anything.
where we go through town and clean up trash and maybe old tires that are laying around, all sorts of stuff. And the state will collect it for us that week. We'll set them in one spot. We usually set them like right up around over here where the state can come in and they'll throw it on their trucks. They can dump it.
No.
So it's one day. Normally we do, what days we pick the,
It's April 1st, and if it rains on April 1st, it will be April 15th. Both of those days are Saturdays. It's from 9:30 to noon. And we have free gloves and free trash bags, and then you sign a waiver. And we have a lot of the children in town that come into Greenway Cemetery because it's a safe location for them to pick up trash and sticks and clean up the cemetery. And then anyone else in the community is welcome to go throughout the community to pick up trash. You come here to Town Hall to pick up gloves and bags and sign a waiver. And then you can head out anywhere you want in the community. So,
and if the trash bags aren't too, if they get heavy, just put them on the side somewhere and we'll have somebody come around, pick them up, bring them up here and put them in the pile so that the state can collect them. So we,
It's a West Virginia DEP project, so you can look it up. You know, just West Virginia DEP, Make It Shine. It's been a program that's been going on for years and years.
yeah,
Okay.
And so it's really good and very helpful for the cemetery because, it gets pretty crazy.
there'll be an article in the Morgan Messenger next week,
All right, well,
so
thank
if you want to look for it.
all right. And then we have, here in your handouts, we've got a thing here on, there's going to be a professor to speak on the Union League raid in Berkeley Springs in 1864. They're going
I
to,
asked this to be put in here, the Morgan County Historical and Geological Society is sponsoring this event. And this is a well-known Civil War historian, author, and he asked to be able to come here and talk to Berkeley Springs about this battle. So please consider coming. It's a free event. It's in the courthouse, and you're all welcome.
anybody gets a chance, take it.
It's interesting.
Because I would like to make it, but I've got to teach that night. So anybody that has a way to take it, send it to me. I'd appreciate it. And that's the 16th at the courthouse 7. So that's basically all I have. Other than we're going to start working to clean up town here. Spring's coming in, so hopefully we can see our guys out there. And I think Rick will probably talk about that next meeting or so. But we're going to start, so we'll go from there. All right, Bath Development. I talked to her earlier today. She wasn't going to make it this evening. Looks like next meeting is the 5th of this April at 4:30 at the courthouse. Okay, Parks and Recs, we'll have a representative here. Their next meeting is the 15th of this month at 7 PM at the courthouse. Planning Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Hey, we had our monthly meeting last week. One of the highlights is David O'Connell's back. For those that weren't paying attention, he was in Kenya for the entire month of February. So he came back with lots of good stories and some kind of bug, and so he's feeling terrible. But no, we're back and running. Our focus as we're looking at the comprehensive plan the last month or so, really looking at the public safety part, really drilling down into there and what we do and what potentially opportunities exist moving forward with that. And routinely attending the various meetings of the town government or associated folks. Was at the most recent Parks and Recs, where I got wrangled into their summer swim program, so I can announce that we will have an expanded swim lessons program this summer. Instead of 1 week, it'll be a minimum of 6 weeks. And I have passed the lifeguard training. Last weekend, I was the only person over 16 to go through the training. I have passed, and I will be helping our community teach our young ones how to swim this summer.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Wonderful.
I'll have to come down and participate in class.
Adults are encouraged.
I was a lifeguard
I know.
at one
I'm
time. So, all right. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it. Anybody got any questions for Larry? He's gonna be the lifeguard of the year, so we'll have to get him a plaque to hang up in here, so.
Getting the speed up.
Boy, that's bad thought.
You can invest in my dermatological fees for my skin
boy.
cancer screening.
All right, well, let's move on to rails and trails.
I could, speak to that. I know we have it down here under a grant, but we might as well talk about rails and trails. If you notice, and I sent out to you all a couple letters. These are letters to each of our federal senators, and what we are doing in these letters is asking for support for a federal earmark. And we're asking both of our senators. The Morgan County Commission is applying for a grant to complete the trailhead. That's the paving, the stage, the bathrooms, and everything, at a sum of $2.7 million. And we're going for the big bucks. These letters are our way of telling these senators, we own the property and we're okay with this, which I'm sure we are. I hope we are anyway. But this is a real, if it comes about, is a real win for the town of Bath, because it is, of course, property that is owned by the town of Bath. However, Morgan County Commission is applying for this grant, and they will administer it. So it won't be here in this office driving Sharon out of her mind, but we will be working with the Morgan County Commission on perhaps actually having a nice, wonderful facility at the north end of town. So that's what the two letters, the mayor's already signed them. If I always want you all to see if I've written something on a, town letterhead. But I sent them out earlier. I tried to get individualized because. And so last year we did this too. We were asking for $1.1 million last year. We only applied with Capito this year. We're applying with both senators. I think that's the better. Maybe they will work out something together that we can. 2.7. Yeah, last year we only asked for a portion of the money that we would need, that is estimated that we would need to complete that line. This year we said we're tired of messing around, and we have a better chance of getting something this year than last year. So, like I've said a couple times, the past couple months, what do we have to lose?
So we'll add it to it and see what they come up with.
There it goes. So
Yep.
Is it okay with you guys? I mean, these letters okay?
Common consent?
Common consent. Okay,
All right.
yeah, all right.
Thank you, council. Okay, don't have anything else for rails and trails. Streetscapes, did talk to Pete the other day. He said things are starting to move along now, so we're going to start seeing some things going on. I know they've been out talking to people, doing some surveys, and the next part of the streetscapes that they're going to be doing. So anyway, he's back. He's on a little trip for a couple of weeks. I talked to him, running into him at Food Line the other day. So he's going to be getting back into the groove. Train Depot.
Okay, well, of course, we're moving along to completion there, and, I will proudly show anybody the advances we've made. Paint is on the walls, we're down to, there's still more painting to do, we're working on the tiles in the bathroom. We're starting to, with these kind of construction jobs, completion is always seems to be perpetually 2 weeks off, and so it's okay. But I am starting to think and, gather some ideas in the community about a grand opening type celebration. And we're thinking early June perhaps, and inviting all the dignitaries who have helped us along the way with this, and architects and construction guys and all the people in the community. So we're working towards that. I feel pretty sure I've done by then, but I do think so. Anyway, it's making, you've
Making
been in,
progress, yeah.
You've been in,
Yep.
you've seen.
It's looking good. I talked to Kevin the other day. He's looking forward to completing the project. So
He's really, and our foreman down there who's
Yep.
really bought in, this is personal to
Yeah.
him, which is what you want with anybody.
he's been good to work with. I mean,
Yes,
you
he has.
you ask him something and he goes right to it, shows you what he can and can't do. And so anyway, it's really done.
One thing that we are, that I'm not sure how this happened, but was left out of the design for the interior rehab was the finishing of the hardwood floors. There are maple hardwood floors in the ladies' waiting room, the station master's room, and part of the baggage room. And I would like Lance, that is the company that Kevin Good works for. I would like to just keep him there and have him do it because he cares. He's going to get an estimate for us, but that's something that Sharon and I are going to look at the depot money, see what we've got, because it's going to be at least $5,000.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get it. I just feel sure we have to keep moving and we will find this money.
We'll figure it
somewhere,
out.
Make it happen.
Let's get it done with this far. Let's just
We
get it done.
And we can't really open to the public if there's floors on top.
Right.
So that is one thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Landmark Commission.
So we did meet with our town council to get guidance from him on how to move forward, and we got some good ideas. That's the only thing we've accomplished since our last meeting, and our next meeting is April the 20th at 2 p.m.
With town legal counsel.
Yes,
Counsel SEL. Okay.
yes.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry you missed it.
Yeah, I bet you are. I tell you, I'm gonna have to come to work up there at the restaurant. I can see that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just gonna
absolutely.
come up there so that when you go out, I can walk right out with you.
You can stay behind and supervise.
Oh, yeah. Okay, clerk and reporters report, Madam Clerk.
Just that we are doing the budget preparation starting this week. We're having the preliminary meetings to go over revenue and expenses for each of the departments. They are open meetings, they're posted on the website and also on the board here if anybody wishes to attend.
We have decided that the meeting tomorrow will be at 4 p.m. and we thought that might be a little bit easier for people, hopefully it is, to attend it in some way. So, and that met Sharon's approval and like that, so we did decide to do it.
I won't be here, but you guys can handle
We'll
this.
flail away with
You
that.
can handle it. I can do that.
The other item that I have in your package, you can see the actual detail, but I'm requesting a budget revision to reduce the budget by $25,000. It appears that we are not going to collect on the property taxes where we thought we would be by this time of the year. So we are decreasing the budget by the $25,000.
Okay.
I just need everybody to say
We
yes, they
need to
approve,
have
and then
a
I need a first and a
resolution.
second. I have a resolution.
I have a question. I mean, wouldn't would it make sense to wait until April to, when those are fully due in?
Well, I based on the first week, what we collected last year during that period of time. Didn't do it exactly, but we are down significantly. We anticipated having $180,000 of property tax paid to the town of Bath. We're at 122 right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so, anyway, any questions? I'll entertain a motion for this, resolution 2023-03-01.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion second on the floor, to, do the budget revision, resolution 2023-03-01. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Do you have the original, or do you just want us to we
Yeah,
sign
no, I'm
off and
good.
say?
No, I'm good. Thank
Okay,
you.
good deal. All right.
I want to bring one thing up, it's a recorder, but it's not really a recorder, well, it is. But, I'd like everybody to pay attention to the, East Palestine, Ohio situation. A few years ago, Beth and I worked real hard to get home rule for the town of Bath. It didn't work, we don't have it, but one of the things we were working towards was so that the town of Bath could make a law, an ordinance, requiring trucks that carry hazardous materials through the town of Bath to give us notification that they were coming through. We didn't get home rule, weren't able to do that, but I do want you to know that Beth's husband is a chemical physicist and can sit on his porch and watch trucks go through our town. They carry the same chemicals as East Palestine is suffering under right now. So it is an issue for all of us. Should an accident happen in the middle of town, it would surely get in the water, it would be in the air, it would be everywhere. So this isn't something that's just, over and high and we don't have to worry about. It's a situation here too. So I just wanted to make that comment.
We're in a situation where we're
One
like
source
we're
of
3
water.
or 4 highways, or 3, and if 522, 68, and 70 in Hancock, and being in the fire department for many, many years over there, there's many, many chemical spills that you wouldn't think, but so there is a lot, and even if and when the bypass goes, it's still going to be very close to town, and there will be probably more of the hazardous stuff coming through our area. So,
I don't know if anybody saw what happened Sunday in Frederick, the accident there.
Indeed.
And it
It's the
was an
same
actual
thing.
gas spill that even the people that lived there weren't told that it was a gas spill until 2 or 3 days later. And they prevented from getting into a run, but people that lived there weren't notified.
So it's real.
Yeah.
So we need to maybe work towards some legislation with that since I'm a professional.
Yep,
There you go.
legislation.
Since
There
I'm
you
a
go.
highly trained.
Yep, there you go.
It is possible for the town to file an application under home rule at this time because a couple of years ago, the legislature gave home rule status to every municipality and county in the state. There is a fee associated with it applying this year. There is a fee, a $2,000 fee to apply to the program now that did not exist in the past, but it is something that we could revisit if we so choose to do so.
Maybe we should
Start
do that
thinking
along
about
with Ordinance,
Let's start.
When you all applied the first time, was there a reason it was denied in terms of that part of it? About the trucks? Is there any legal issues that they had that would have made that
No,
not possible?
They did not tell us why they reject your application, and Susan, I would have probably agreed that they did not look at individual. We had 4 proposals that we were asking the home rule board to consider, and our application was rejected for status, so they didn't look at anything at all in our application. So whether if we had been granted homeless status, they would have said, well, you can do these 3 things and not. We just don't know. So we would have to apply again.
And any rule or law that comes along, under a home rule has to go through the exact same ordinance committee process that it does right now. It's just like it's changing a state statute, a state statute.
Make it fit us.
To make it fit our particular situation. And, and often these rules are brought about by one town and it benefits a lot of towns, it grows. So it may be something that we want to look into because this is really at the fore of our minds right now.
Okay, all right, well, thank you. Let's move on. Let's pay some bills for a change.
Alright. I'd like to make a motion to pay the town of Bath bill in the amount of $15,733.85.
Second?
Did we need to,
No, she's got it.
we need a motion?
Yeah, we made
We
it.
did that, we did that.
We
We did that.
Yeah.
It was Skinner Webster.
Resolution.
Sorry.
Skinner Webster. Hey, we all
Are you all right?
We all drift. I've been drifty all day.
No, I'm thinking about the chemicals.
It's got to you?
Apologize.
Okay, no problem. I make big mistakes every meeting, so. So anyway, we got a motion and a second on the floor. Any more discussion? Okay, we'll bring the, question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Alright, the Berkeley Springs, I'd like to make a motion to pay the Berkeley Springs water bill. The amount's a little different. It's gonna be $14,514.30.
The reason for that is that base bill in there for 7171 should not be in there. So you just have to subtract that from the 14,586.01 and that gives you the number you just gave.
Say that number again.
$14,514.30.
We have a motion. I have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the town of Bath water bills in the amount of $14,508.14.30. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
I would like to make a motion to pay the Greenway Cemetery bill in the amount of $1,366.
I'll second, but I have a question. Beth, is that the tax exempt thing?
Yes,
Oh,
it
okay.
is.
I'll second.
It's for our tax,
Yeah.
our tax one.
I finally straightened out type of deal.
I'm sorry. Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $1,366. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries.
I would like to make a motion to pay the tree board bill in the amount of $2,100.
Second?
Have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the tree board bills in the amount of $2,100.
I'd like to comment on this if I may. As you may all recall, the tree board has received a grant, $11,000 for a tree survey and removal of trees related to that survey. And the items here for Greenway Cemetery are part of that grant. We are upfronting the money for the tree board and we will be reimbursed for those expenses at the end of the grant when they are reimbursed. So the tree removal around the mausoleum is part of that project. And there will be a couple other things as well.
But this total amount will be reimbursed.
Yes,
Okay,
you're right.
Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
And last but not least, I would like to make a motion to pay the streetscapes bill in the amount of $139.56.
Second?
I have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the streetscapes bills in the amount of $139.56. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries.
And that was the least, that's the last but not least, but it's the least. I stand corrected.
It was interesting.
Man, take a bunch of comedians here. All right, well, let's move on to tree board. I don't know if you have any more.
I just want to reiterate that the tree board did receive their grant to do the tree survey, and there will be tree removal for diseased trees, dead trees, so forth, throughout the town. That's a minor part of the project, but it is stuff things that have to be done. So they did receive the grant. They've already begun the work on it. Their goal is to try to finish the project sometime in September, so the town can be reimbursed as quickly as possible. So they as soon as they got the okay, they started on their work. So they're doing a great job already.
Okay. All right, grant.
Sorry, I saw that out earlier.
Oh, yeah, no, you're fine. No, I was hoping to have some updated info, but with the region on meeting safety Monday and got canceled. So I don't know.
Okay. Public safety?
We want to introduce our new police chief, Bill Carpool. You can sit in here with us, you know, you can sit in.
He was sworn in last Wednesday night and has been here since Thursday working, so, we welcome him and we're really appreciative of him taking the position on.
I greatly appreciate being here. Sorry I wasn't sitting in here. We were out there actually conducting business. It's a pleasure. I enjoy working for the town already. I can tell you the first few days, it's been kind of a whirlwind for me, just trying to get up to speed on everything and seeing what we have and what we don't and things that, how our future is going to go. But I believe that it's very bright. And I'm just very, very pleased to be here and serve the community.
I know.
Are you all ready for Thursday to present your budget? This Thursday.
All right, anything else for public safety?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right, we look for good things to start happening here again. So let's move on to cemetery.
You all should have received an email today to inform you that the county commissioners gave the Greenway Cemetery $30,000 toward the restoration of the Greenway Cemetery Mausoleum. And we had an anonymous gift of pledge. We had up to $25,000 match. And the gentleman was contacted this morning who's already brought in his $25,000 match. So we have the money that we need to start looking for a contractor to do the restoration repairs on the mausoleum. So it's pretty exciting. It's been
Exhausting.
an ongoing project. There's still a lot related to it. We are going to continue to try and raise funds for it because there are other things that could be done to the mausoleum to beautify it that, are not part of this project. But I just want you all to know that we appreciate the county commissioners working with us on this, and for our local citizen who stepped forward to say this is something that needs to be done and I want to help. So it's something we're very thankful for. And let's see if I have anything. Also, I sent the letter of agreement to Percy Renovations this morning. He has agreed to serve again as the contractor in Greenway Cemetery. He's done a very good job the last 5 years. So he will be starting on April 17th after Make It Shine. And so we expect to have the cemetery look nicely again this year.
Well, I'd like to extend my appreciation to Beth for hanging with all
Absolutely.
the difficulties that go along with the
Yeah.
cemetery. You all have no idea. It's 20 difficult acres that has to be treated with absolute respect and maintained, and it's very difficult. There is really little to no revenue, very small revenue. So the whole committee and Beth Beth and her tenacity have made this happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, and
I appreciate it.
I want to say thank you, Beth, but I also want to shout out to our county commissioners.
Absolutely.
They have been nothing but gracious in times that we have gone to them and said, hey, we don't have the money to do this or whatever, and they figure a way to help us out. They helped us out with loans actually that we paid back. Now, this isn't a loan, this is through the hotel motel, but our county commissioners have really stepped up to the plate and really helped this little community. We want to definitely let them know that we appreciate that, so.
Beth, could you want to put together a letter? And I'm sure all of us would sign.
Absolutely.
Or you sign it, or a letter to
Yeah.
the commissioners.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely,
And
let's
we,
do
we
that.
are hoping that this project is one of the big steps in moving forward to perhaps getting Greenway Cemetery on the National Registry of Historic Places so that it would be eligible for historic preservation grants. So this is part of the argument that I made to my application to the county commissioners that we have to find revenues for the cemetery. And sadly, there are many, many public cemeteries that have been abandoned by towns and counties, and we simply cannot allow that to happen.
Right.
So,
And I also want to say to our anonymous donor, really appreciate helping us out with this also. I don't want to leave that person out because that's a chunk of money. So, we have so many good people in this community that are willing to step up to the plate, and can't thank that person more than, we really appreciate it. And I think, I don't know if we could do the same thing for them, even though they're anonymous. I don't know if we could send out a thank
You
you.
think about that, Beth,
Yeah.
because you're the one
Yeah.
that has.
Right, you're the one that got that ball rolling, but I'm very appreciative, so, because that's been a real
It's a bit-
thorn in Beth's here for 2 years, 3 years, because it's really a piece that needs to be repaired. So
And one more thank you to Pete Brown and Tom Miller, who actually wrote the original engineering contract that moved this forward to actually be able to help us to be able to move forward to get funding.
Yep.
Because we can't find a contractor. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right. We good to go? Let's go to Public Works.
Next week at this time, we should have our new used 250 pickup truck. And we did our budget prep today, and if all things hold with the budget, what our hope is for this year, in the past decade, we pretty much handled all of our wish lists as far as paving, any citizen concerns we've dealt with. The two major roads that we have not touched in the last decade are the two most used roads in the town of Bath, Mercer and Green. So next year, our goal, budget permitting, will be to do all of Mercer Street that belongs to the town, which goes from Fairfax to Route 9, that whole part there. Mercer Street from Fairfax this way belongs to DOH. And I'm hoping that will serve as an impetus to them after they do Wilk Street, to jump right down and do the other roads that they have. Then we divided, for Green Street, we divided that for 2 more fiscal years. That's the plan that we submitted today. And what we hope to do with those is to do Green Street from Fairfax to 9. And then there's 2 other parts of it. Green Street continues across 9, down that hill, do that part, and then to do Green Street from Fairfax to Independence. That would be the 3rd part. That would be the 3rd. Once those, if we can budget and pull those off, everything in the town of Bath will have been paved in the past decade. So then we'll have a couple of years of just maintaining and no major projects. Not on wood, hopefully. So that's where we are. Thank you.
Rick, just a heads up, Cornelius, I know that has been dug up with the water replacement.
Rodney and I stopped there
Right.
and told them that
They're
we
gonna, they have agreed to,
to not patch it, to resurface.
resurface, thank you.
They
Yeah, Rodney and I went up there and they were talking like in circles
Right.
This is what they were gonna do for here, and then you talk to somebody else at the next hole down, and they had a different thing. I said, no, no, no. We spent a lot of money paving this.
Right.
Just to patch that little part where you're digging is not gonna cut it. You need to resurface the whole thing, so it's one even thing, and they agreed to do that.
We also need to look at that end of Cornelius that they actually fixed during the water line replacement. I didn't realize that they took that fence off up there by Davison's. And it goes all the way down to, I came up the other day when I took the police chief, the new chief around, and I'm like, wow, it's all stoned and leveled out. Remember how bad that road was from Cornelius? It goes all the way around now. So maybe we could talk, maybe them putting something down there, a surface, since it's already, they got it all flattened out, stones all down and everything. So yeah, now would be the time to get it done. So I don't know if we can get a hold of them.
With Rodney and see what we can get.
See if we can get something, even if we gotta put a thin layer to keep a bunch of ruts from happening for now. They did a very good job. It's flat. I mean, I couldn't believe it. So, so we closed that street off, back in 2006?
How it got paved to begin with was we had a terrible flood in 1997, and we convinced FEMA that one of the reasons that we had to protect the springs from the runoff of Warm Springs Ridge, and therefore we needed it paved, and we got FEMA money to pave it in the beginning.
Right. Well, like I said, it's been closed for a while, so.
Oh, yeah, the extension?
Right,
Okay.
going on down
Oh,
to,
yeah. Ooh.
we've had that closed, and since they're going to be working on the English cemetery and, cleaning it up, that would be, that road's real nice now. I mean, there's no ruts or anything in it, so anyway, just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
So, but, okay, ordinance,
The ordinance committee met this afternoon. Kate Lehman from the tree board met with us to discuss a proposed new tree ordinance that they are putting forward. This is the second version of the ordinance that we looked at. We talked with her and provided more comments that she is going to look at incorporating and talking with Dick Gay about some things further, or at least it'll be shared with Dick to get his guidance on some things. And so that's ongoing, and we have received some comments. Susan, I shared, we'll incorporate your comments. So we're working on that. We also are continuing to work on the personnel manual. I think we're ready to send a draft out to the council. For input, and we'll have that on next council meeting for first reading. So we'll see.
we've nailed it down.
We'll see.
They're not easy.
No, that's been,
We've been working on this for,
we've been working on this for 8 years.
yeah, so.
So there, that was the ordinance. So.
Okay. Waterworks,
Let's see, we are continuing to accept applications for our superintendent, assistant superintendent for now, but we'll transition to superintendent in October. We have started receiving applications, and so I think we're looking at potentially meeting with a candidate or two, not next week, but the week after. So I need to get with you and Rose about times for the committee to get together for that. But it's hopeful. I think we've got at least one good application and maybe more. So, but we're finally starting to get some movement on that where we weren't before. So,
Are you talking about the replacement of the chief water operator?
yes,
Okay.
they'll be there, his more or less as an assistant until October,
and then you switch
and
it.
then his retirement will take effect. And we'll switch.
When's he gonna retire, Chris?
We think in October 15th.
You see, a chief operator of a public waterworks has to give you 6 months, by law, 6 month notice, because they can't just.
Yeah, he's given it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they can't just do it, because they.
Yeah, the next water meeting will be Monday, the 13th.
Okay, and when you look at applications, just, I'm probably gonna be the one the day of the 17th.
Well, we're looking at maybe the 20th.
Okay,
That's
Because I'm gonna be getting out of here for a couple days. 3 years since I've been
Yeah, no, I know you.
been away from my
I knew
wedding
that.
anniversary, so, anyway, all right, we come to the point in this meeting, is there anything that needs to come before council? Anybody out in the council that would want to speak? All right, I would ask for a common consent to adjourn.
All right.
So, we're-
Close.